Gaming Live, the Caen University program dedicated to game-based learning. So this is our first live show in English, and it's for a special occasion, our first staff week here at the Cemu Gaming Lab. But if you don't know us, who are we and what do we do? We are the Educational Support Department of the University of Caen, and we have a learning lab and a gaming lab. Yes, a gaming lab here. So in the gaming lab, we raise teachers' awareness of the benefits of games, and we create games, and we also help teachers to repurpose existing games. Okay, but who are we? Let's introduce some of the members of the team. Hello, guys. So,
hello, Florine. Hello.
There is Jérôme Legrix-Pagès, our director and history of ideas teacher. Jérôme, who is almost speechless because he has talked the whole week and has showed Caen to our guests.
But don't worry, I will be able to speak. So don't rejoice. I mean,
yes, we are relieved. And Nicolas, our game designer, who has won the contest of the best eSport podcaster this week with Damien. Congrats!
Thank you.
In the team, there are also Benoit, Lucy, and Arthur behind the camera. So,
and we are always under your very beautiful presence, Florine.
Thank you, Jérôme.
But I have a very bad news because you are currently doing your last bootcamp. You will be leaving us.
Yes, I'm sad.
Yes, I know. I made her a very good proposition, but she said no.
Okay.
I want to stay. Well, anyway, we'll speak about that later.
Yeah, sure.
And enjoy your last bootcamp.
Thank you. So it's a special week for us. It's our bootcamp, but in English. So Jérôme, can you tell us what's the aim of a bootcamp and a staff week?
Okay, so I guess basically this staff week was to learn more about games. Games as a cultural product. So we asked the participants to play a lot and to discover maybe new way of playing and gaming. So we played and discover a video game, including esports, board games. And yesterday night it was about tabletop role-playing games. And the participants were very involved and very willingly entering all those activities. But they also learn about games as a system, as systems. And so we try to taught them how those elements are built. So we spoke about game design, narrative design, and how a board game is also a complex balance of graphic and drawing and such. And of course, we learn more about game as a way of teaching and learning. That was the goal of this full week. And so it is a week of 5 days long, quite intense. We start roughly around 9:30 in the morning when everyone is on time. And after that, we do a lot of activities in the theoretical inputs, practical workshops. We play, we had cultural tour around the city, and we try to have the spirit of a military bootcamp. So we do a lot of activity, and we are very, very tired. But I must say that we try to have a good time and to know each other. And I'm very glad because I've met wonderful and very colorful people, and I am so happy to have done this. And it might not be the last one we do that.
Yeah, I am happy too because we have 16 participants from all over the world, and they represent, I think, 17 countries.
Yes.
So it's
yes, because of
we are lucky.
Of someone 2 or maybe 3 different origins or countries of adoptions.
And okay, you were saying it's not. It may not be our last staff week because maybe next year.
Never lose an opportunity to make some advertisement. So yes, I guess that next year at the same time, roughly, we will be having another international staff week about bootcamp. So it will be between the 15th to the 19th of June, 19th of June.
Nice, and people can subscribe.
Yes, you can click on the description behind the video. There is nothing. But there will be in the description of the video, I guess, the useful link.
Perfect. Okay, so today, as in every bootcamp, it's a special day because on Thursday we always have a game jam. So teams have less than a day to come up with a game prototype, and it has to be based on an educational objective.
Yes.
So what is a game jam basically?
Basically, you said all of it. So
what is it for?
What is an event where people gather and design and prototype the prototype games, and it's in a short time. So today they had roughly 5 hours long to do that, and but it can last sometimes 2 days, 3 days in a row. It comes from the world of video games, and now it's used also in research, in education, in innovation. So it's a good way of bringing people together so they can try to be creative. We use a lot of team working. There's lots of iteration, idea sharing, and all of that under time pressure. But usually it's a very good way of entering complex subject or sensitive subject, and we offer then the possibility to choose among 3 subjects today, 3 topics. So the first one was about welcoming new staff.
Okay.
So the people will be telling more about that. So it's an onboarding game that we are waiting. The second subject was, and I guess we will start by this one, is about exploring the history of one institution. So because sometimes we don't know all the wonders that lies before us. And the last subject, I guess there will be 2 groups working on this subject, is about a student life abroad, because student or life abroad can be sometimes tricky, and we don't see the reality of the challenges that are waiting for us.
Okay.
Both practical and economical. So I'm very, very impatient to listen to them.
That's exciting. And how did it go today for our teams?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
We'll see that.
So
okay.
Yeah. You're gonna see, but maybe I want to stress right now that it is a very difficult exercise because first you don't have really the choice of the subject, so it's not that easy. You also have a limited amount of time, and also I guess they are not at the top of the game regarding all the tiredness, all the fatigue they have accumulated during the week. So usually we do that when we are really fresh and fully at the top of the games. But so I'm pretty sure that said, we'll be surprised, and there is always some very interesting elements. I can't wait to listen to them.
Yeah, so we are going to listen to them, and
they are very brave as well.
Yeah, it's true.
Because I'm not sure they were aware this morning that at 5 they will be online in front of so many. How many? Or roughly 2 million viewers already.
Wow! Thank you so much to be there, and feel free to ask us questions and to react.
And
yeah,
and subscribe and
oh no. So the teams will have 10 minutes to explain us their prototype, and then Nicolas and Jérôme will ask them a few friendly questions. Okay? Yeah. So if you guys are ready, let's welcome our first team. So it's Grian, Rima, Marcela and Yitka for a game named... Yeah, thank you. And I guess your game is named Secret of the University Maze. So when you want, you can talk to us about it.
Okay, first I want to thank all the team, the professors, the leaders we have, and of course the team, because we have such a short period, a short time to do this. It was just today, and during the week we were working a lot, but not together. It was the first time we are working together. So I believe that we can even say our names without any accent so far. And we got this prototype. I'm very happy with this prototype because it's a prototype. We can identify some things that we might do it, but afterwards. But now it matched with our goals, with the goals we were challenged to match. And it's quite a funny game, especially at the end. So I will explain the secret of the university maze. This prototype was made for new students to integrate the university and also to know more about the history and the places of the university. So instead of having that boring sections of lecturing, this is our laboratory, this is our library, and so on, this is a nice way, a fun way to students get this knowledge. So let's start the game. Can I show you? This camera will show the board. Okay, yeah. Okay. So this is the entrance. As is an integration game, we decided to play it by groups, so they can just play it one group and doing it together, the journey together, or they can be divided in 2 or 3 groups of 2 or 3 people and do it together. So they should throw the dice. That's okay. That's really fun. A good way to start the game. And just to know who is going to start. So when they start, the first one who get the greatest number will begin. But actually, they will all get these cards at the same time. These cards, it's actually a quiz. It's not so funny, it's not so innovative, but nowadays we have students that prefer to learn by looking at their mobiles than looking at the professors. So we have quiz here. Each card is a quiz. There's a quiz list here with 3 questions, and each question has different points. So afterwards, the group will be ranked by these questions and how they answer it. But the difference is they will not read anything to answer these questions. They will use their mobile and look for the answers. Okay, they can use ChatGPT, or any other AI. Of course they can, but we thought about this. We discussed a lot about this, but our goal is not the one who knows more. Our goal is for all know about the history, the secrets of the university. So we really don't mind what tool they might use. So we accept using any AI tool. But it's a quiz, and they will have points, so they can choose one question to answer, or if they have time, they will have some time to answer it. If they are very fast, they can answer 1 or 2 or 3 questions, and they can even choose which question they will answer first. So they answer, they have points here, so here we have the punctuation, and then they go all together to another room. So we have here a blueprint of the university. It's a it's a prototype, but it's a blueprint of the university, and different rooms. There are not too much rooms because our goal is to integrate them so they can work together and know a little bit about the university, but it will not take too long. So our expectation is to this game be played around 20 or 40 minutes. at the maximum. 40 minutes, I think it's too much, but a little bit less than this. Okay, together with the round, there's I will get let the end to the end, of course. But together with the rooms, they will discovering the administration room, the library, the lecturing room. This is just an example, and laboratory and media and games room. But together with this, there is a mystery. So in the beginning of the journey, they will hear someone will tell them a history, and you will tell the history after. Okay, I will let the history to the end. But there's a history and there's a mystery that in each room they will find some clue to lead to this mystery. So at the end they will be able to discover this mystery. Well, they will go through this journey, answering the question, this quiz questions, but using the internet, the mobile, to answer these questions. But at the end, if they just look for ChatGPT, look for the answers at the ChatGPT, at the end they will have a huge challenge. At the atrium of the universe, the last place, they will have to challenge others. So using all the learned or the knowledge they have learned during the journey, they will have 3 or 4 minutes to create a question and challenge others. So if we are working with 2 groups, one group will challenge the other group, and the other way around. If we are working with more than 2 groups, they can challenge. They will challenge the whole group, and who knows the questions needs to tap here at the middle of the board. So let's simulate it just for me to. So the first to tap, the one who had all the taps after it, is the first to try to answer the question. If he or she is right, or if the group is right, okay, 10 points more. If the answer is wrong, the second one to tap will have the chance to answer it. Okay, so we try to, okay, it's a quiz game, but we also have some integration. They will learn together, cooperate with the group, and also at the end, we will have a more interaction. Okay, so can you tell the history?
Shall I try to tell? So just to make the game more immersive, we have a backstory. It's the history of the university. And universities are quite old. And in old days, there weren't females weren't allowed to enter the university. So here we have 7 buildings, and we have 7 students welcoming the players into the building, and the students, they have names, different names, like Rudolph. He's in the entrance. He's a poet and a mystic. And it's Matthäus. He likes rules because he's in the administration building. And we have library. It's Otto, who is quiet and introvert, strangely enough. And Niklas, who's sharp and talkative. And there's the camera. So, but in the laboratory is Lucas, who's experimental and likes smells. So they have this different characteristic. Emil is sensitive and observant. He's in the media lab. I can take all of them. Leonard is in the entrance, and he's proud and comes from a rich family. So, he's in the exit. They have to find, we have some clues about each student. They're all male students, but actually one of them is a female. So they have to find out from the clues who is the female student who has snuck into the university in the end. So that's the immersive part maybe of the game. Yeah.
just forgot to tell something is that this game, the way it is, or the way we want this to be, is to be it's something that you can customize to any other university. So the questions and the blueprint you can do for whatever university you can. So this is a good point of this creation.
Okay, so do you have any questions, or
thank
can
you
continue?
so much. I think we are going to move on to questions. Thank you so much. I love the story. I love the story and the characters. Thank you so much. So, Jérôme, Nicolas, what do you think about this? Okay. They are playing a game to know who is going to start. Yeah, always.
Always. Thank you very much. I have just one question. Are the questions, the quiz, related to the room they are currently in? Or it's not global question. It's really tied to the room.
Yes, each room have cards for questions. They are titles for the room.
So it would be a game really inspired by, for example, a specific place in the world. Okay, so we could order your game for our university, and I have questions related to our university. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Right.
It's business.
Okay, so thanks a lot. So if I had, so I'm gonna ask you a question. Maybe I ask you a little later. So if you had more time, or if you had to redo the project from zero, what would you change a little more, or what do you think your game is lacking? So we've got this web quest using AI, which is I think interesting. I like also the challenge at the end where you have to build a question. So that's always very interesting to put the learners in position to create actual teaching elements, and also I really like, so for the thing I really like also the part, the narrative part. Maybe you should have started by that. The fact that there is an identity we have to discover, and plus it's quite interesting to promote inclusivity and diversity in university by the days we are encountering. So what will you do differently?
If we have much more time, I think we should create better questions, because the questions, all of them are answered by ChatGPT. So maybe we should focus on how to create better differentiation between the question and the points, because I think that the most difficult question can be answered by ChatGPT very quickly. So I think it's weaknesses of our game. So, and maybe more rooms will be at the plan, and more ways. More ways. More choices for example, for strategic games, and maybe some role here for players. For example, the first player can be student, second one lecturer, and maybe more narrative together with the story about the girl. So I think it can be better in 2 months, maybe. So be patient for, please.
Of course.
Of course, we need funding. So we are creating the grant proposal now. So
That's why Erasmus stands for. Okay, so maybe you want to say it, but
No, it's okay for you.
congrats, thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much again, and you're free. Thank you for this game. So
Thank you very much.
Secret of the University Maze. Well done. And let's welcome our second team. So for the game Xenos. Yes, I'm waiting for Ibrahim, Dani, Ingun, Bengu, and Teresia. Yeah.
Yeah. While they are, putting
Setting
their
them.
yeah. So maybe you should go the other way around. So you do not work. Yeah. Yes. And maybe do it quietly. Okay, no, you're not. Anyway, so
It's a special show here.
yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe I'd like to ask Nicolas about some global advice you can share about designing a game, since you are indeed a designer.
Okay, thank you. I often insist on the structure of the game, how it starts, what do you do when it's your turn, how it ends. But I think they did quite a good job with that.
Yeah, okay. Maybe our team can be just a little bit quiet in backstage, please. Thank you,
We need
Benoit.
the second team, please.
And okay, Nicolas, we will keep on with you. We will go back to you later.
Of course.
Thank you. So, welcome, Dani, Ibrahim, Ingun. So, for your game Xenos, can you explain it to us in 10 minutes, please? Hello.
Here, I've always dreamt of being on this podcast. Our name is our game name is Xenos, which in ancient Greece actually means foreigner. And we were tasked to actually make a game on welcoming international students. As I think we all know, we've all dealt with international people, we've all been international ourselves. And we know that a lot of challenges come with trying to integrate into a new society, but also helping others be integrated. Hello, this is our
Hello.
our other team member. So we thought to make a game to help people empathize with the challenges that people in a foreign country have. You have challenges like, dealing with new bureaucracy that you don't get, or a new culture, or a new language, or as a student specifically, dealing with all the stuff that you need for documentation when it comes to your university and who do you talk to and things like that. So we made this game in which all the players, the characters in the world have a few statistics. I don't know if you see it over here. I'm going to put it in this beautiful camera here in front. But basically, we try to see which challenges people face in a different country as students, and we distill them to 3 sorts of challenges. We have challenges when it comes to documentation. So think about things like having your papers in order and having enough money and having accommodation and things like that. The other types of challenges is social challenges, because obviously you want to be thriving socially. You want to have enough friends. You want to be able to talk to people, right? And the other thing we found very interesting is to see if we could have challenges when it came to culture, because you can be very social, you can have your documents in order, but how do you behave culturally in a new context, right? So we placed a bunch of challenges in these 3 different metrics: documentation, socials, and culture. And we also made sort of, you can call it a character sheet with different characters that have a certain amount of points per skill, right? Some people have their communication in order, and but their social skills are really bad. I am the opposite. My social skills are awesome, and my documentation is, I don't even know if I have a passport anymore, but who knows? So we made a bunch of challenges on this board that, life just sort of happens to people. So we thought actually, might be going all over the place, but we thought students don't only deal with university, but they deal with just life in a new place. So we thought about not only giving them university challenges like, boom, okay, there's an exam, prepare for it, but your landlord is trying to evict you. How are you going to deal with that? So we have these, our gameplay mechanics is basically that you are going through let's call it the semester abroad. And at some points during your semester, a challenge appears. Let's take a random challenge. and it says, oh, you need to finish a class task with team members, but your teammates are being distant and not sharing anything with you. Does this sound familiar?
Yeah, it does.
Yes, it does. Okay, so you have a choice then. Would you stay with the team or snitch to the professor? Right? If you stay with the team, that means your social power will go up, but your documentation, which can sometimes be your grades, goes down. If you snitch to the professor, in this case, maybe... in this case, your documentation goes up, but your socials go down because then suddenly you are the rat for your team, right? So we're giving you all these conundrums and difficult choices. And at the end of the rounds of the game that still need to be super defined, you have to reach a certain threshold in documentation, socials, and culture to be able to successfully round off your year abroad.
Bonjour France. Okay. Thank you for this lovely opportunity. Basically, this is the game. It's over. It's already explained. Okay. It's like ice cream. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, as he mentioned, this is the game. Thank you very much for your time. We're live every Friday.
I don't know if it has so much to add, but the board also consists of you moving through different buildings. You have library where you can move and you can increase your documentation skills, or you can go to a social place like a theater, or you can increase your culture values, and also you can make these choices across the board. Yes, so that is part of the game mechanics here. Yeah.
Yes. Hello, everyone, and hello, my mom. We created this kind of dilemma game because it gives. This kind of game mechanics gives us the power of taking initiative and power of making decisions. So also the problem-solving skills that any international student should have. So that's why we created this kind of dilemma cards, and every kind of decision has a compromise in itself, like in a life kind of setting. So also we created the setting, campus, city buildings and everything, and as an international student you are free to do whatever you want to do. You want to do maybe you want to study in the library, maybe you want to go to a pub, maybe you want to go to a class, etc. So in this board, you are free wherever you want to go. But at the same time, wherever you're going, there is a challenge card waiting for you, and that makes you make a decision against a dilemma. Okay. Want to add something?
And we also at the end included a market that my colleague called the Square, where participants or students can cooperate and exchange abilities. For example, studying for an exam, one student can compensate 2 knowledge, for example, for 1 social skill or for 1 document, and this way they can pass all together, trying to increase cooperation between students.
Voila.
Thank you so much. I want to play to your game. What about you, Jérôme and Nicolas?
Okay, I wanted to start. So, thank you a lot. So I will leave you the part of the game mechanics, and I will more focus on the learning mechanics, and especially the narrative, which I think very interesting to go into the ancient Greece and to choose this word Xenos, because maybe it's not by pure chance you chose this. Xenos is also the word in xenophobia. You know, the hate of the alien, the outsider, the foreigner. And in ancient Greece, it was really a thing. Yeah, they loved so much the cities that if you were not part of the city, you were despised. You were called a metic. And if you were outside the Greek civilization, you were called a barbarian. So so you are using this strong elements of history, and as an historian, I really like that, to put in a way the student in front of the reality of what is becoming an alien when you go somewhere else. So this is interesting because it's quite brutal. I like this part a lot. So maybe I will speak a little after that, but I'm gonna let you the microphone. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I have a few questions about the game mechanisms, if you don't mind. As I see, there is a die on the board. What it is used for?
Two things. So we were thinking, one, you throw the dice, and this allows you to actually move throughout what we call the campus that you're living on in your day-to-day life. But also, we were thinking, I'm assuming that most of you here are no tabletop role-playing games in which you have a certain challenge rating that you have to pass in order to succeed or fail a task. So we thought that in your character sheet, right, you have these scores on your character, how social they are, their culture skills, and their documentation. So imagine at some point, one of the challenges that you get, it's somewhere, is that your landlord is trying to evict you. Oh my God! You don't want that, right? So what you need to do is that there is a certain challenge rating that says you need to score at least 10 on documentation to build your case against the landlord, right? You need to have the documents in order if you want to go the legal battle, or score 8 points on social because you want to charm him, right? Amazing. So, or on culture, 7 points if you want to give him his favorite French dish, right? So in that case, the same as in most tabletop RPGs, you throw your die, you add the skill modifier that you have on that skill that you want to pass, and then either you succeed or fail. Success means that your certain skill goes up. Failure means that a certain skill goes down.
It's different from the dilemma that you can come across when you go to a certain place in the game.
That is different. Yes.
Yes.
You are observant. I like that.
Oh yes, thank you.
I like that. I think we should integrate both, because at some point life is as easy as what am I going to do, A or B? And sometimes it's as difficult as there is a challenge, you have to deal with it, right? So sometimes it's just choose one of the two. Sometimes it's you got to fight for it.
Okay. And can I, do I know what kind of dilemma I will come across when I go to a certain place, so that I can build my character, you know?
Mm-hmm.
No?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So-
if I go to the library, I can go up on knowledge, or
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes. So you go to these certain places to upgrade these skills, and there will be a limited amount of times you go to these places because time is limited as a student. But like with life, it doesn't matter how prepared you are. At some point, just it's going to hit you in the face and you're not prepared for every challenge.
It's a very tough game.
It is very tough. It's the Dark Souls of board games, actually.
Great. And do the challenge get refreshed once you leave a place? Is there a new challenge coming, or it's a peaceful place now?
That is a good question.
Making maybe if you go, you will always have new challenges, new places. You can have a different, So there's no free places. There's never a free place in life. Challenges keep coming. Yes. So yes, because you need these challenges to meet challenges to actually get scores on your board and to finish the game. You will finish the game only have a certain amount of scores on the different skills, and then and the game ends.
Okay.
Sorry. It's also in each player card. Sorry, because in each player card you see that we need to fill in each column. Each column with our skills to the most as high as possible. So we deliberately go into the places that we haven't faced any challenge at all, so that we could face a challenge and get the points. You know, so the aim is to as high as possible the points through the challenge. You know,
but maybe I could do the challenge as a player, and next players, they can go to this place. It's a different place now. It's because the challenge has been overcome. It's safer for them, you know.
No. It stays there. The challenges stay there.
It's the same challenge every time for each player. I mean,
yes.
New challenge. So you have a pile of challenge cards, and that's
Okay.
off. And
The challenge actually depend on the player profile, first of all, and there's a prerequisite before you reach the actual challenge. For example, before you obtaining your residence permit, you need to obtain, let's say, the visa, your contract, and your health insurance. So you need to collect the three, and then you jump into a challenge. And the challenges get harder and harder to collect more points.
and can I team up with another player to face?
You can
challenges?
if you go to the square.
So I need to go to the square first.
You
Say,
need to go
"Hey,
to the
who
square
wants to
and
go
you
to the library
exchange
with
based
me?"
on the skills that you have and the skills that the other player has.
And then you can go to the
And then you can take the challenge.
Okay.
Okay, I think Jérôme had the last question.
Yes.
Go on.
Thank you, Florian, if you insist. No, it will more be a fear I have maybe in those kind of games as a player. If I'm projecting myself in your experience, it feels like a series of punishment, potential punishment when the game is a little generous. Because if it's like Dark Soul, if I want at some point to send my students abroad, it's a good thing that they're aware of all the challenges they will have to overcome. But from our perspective, it's almost everything is a punishing mechanism. So someone with no luck or with no talent can be he can have a very bad time at your game, and maybe he will be very, very stressed, and he might decide, okay, traveling is not for me. So when the game is a little generous and, give me the opportunity to just have,
When you go to the square.
when I go to the square.
The actual challenges are called life events.
Yes.
So in them, there are cards that says you obtained your residence permit and you have your first part-time job, for example. There is another one that says you went on an Erasmus Plus and now you're discovering a new country, so your social goes up. So not all of them are actually punishment. It depends on which choices you take on the curve, because you can go any direction you would like.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay.
And just to add, the narrative is still a work in progress. We're thinking about making it in the academia, the University of Plato in ancient Greek, but we're thinking about it still. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you so much for your game Xenos. Yes, we can applaud. So see you soon, guys.
Can I ask the floor to remain as silent as possible during the sweep, because we are still live. So, and if it's possible to walk behind the cameras, it's a little more professional.
And so let's welcome the third team.
Yeah.
See you soon, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'm calling Team 3. And yes, this way, please. On my left. So our dear colleague Benoit is leading the way. So you can follow him. Thank you so much.
It's interesting, as you mentioned it, you are not mentioning it, but while they're installing the game, I wanted to also stress that all our participants are coming from different backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are teachers, lecturers, professors. Some of them are a designer, actually. We've got a handful of librarian as well. So important member of university. I'm watching at the game, getting in place. So it also can explain how different choices can be made inside a group with a group, and that's interesting because since it's a creative process, so of course the personality and the background of the people will emerge through the creation.
Yeah, totally. So welcome to our third team. So Friede, Raphael, Michaela for the game Integration Impossible. When you're ready, guys, you can explain your game and you have 10 minutes.
Thank you. All right. Hello. So first of all, we joined the others with the thanking you, right, for this great experience.
Thanks.
I will not. I know we are strict with the time, and I can see already that Jérôme is looking tense if we take too much time. So
no,
no.
If you want to know, it's because I won't mention too much your nationalities, but I know that you are little Italian. And you have a tendency to speak with your hands, and I was looking at the microphone, you know.
I have full hands at
Okay,
this time, so it will be moderate gestures. So thank you again for the team, for this amazing organization. We're really happy to have the chance to be here, to learn from you. It was extremely insightful and fun. It was also nice to attend a conference, at least speak for myself, that was not about molecular biology, but something completely different. And I'm very grateful I could work with my colleagues, because it was a very nice journey. I have to say, maybe at the beginning we didn't take too much time to understand more or less how to structure the game, but then there were several panicking moments, and I think some of this panic will be reflected a bit in this absurd game that we came up with. So we're very happy that we're going to present you a very, very absurd game to you today. The name is it possible to see it in the background? No?
Yes, I think in the on YouTube you can see it.
Okay, perfect. So this game is called Integration Impossible. Trust no one, especially the office ghosts. So picture this. You're a newcomer. You just got hired in a new company, so that is not an easy life. There's no fridge, apparently. You don't know. Thank you very much. So there is no fridge, apparently. Everybody tells you that it's there, but it's not there. The printer doesn't want to recognize you at all. Does sounds that you do not want to hear. And people smile, but they do not put you in CC. So it's a very confusing moment. But now imagine that in all this mess, there are ghosts. And these ghosts are the spirits of the hunted former employers of this game. So this is a very comic, I would say, onboarding survival game, in which there is some serious things. Okay, so the main characters, let's say, or the elements of the game that are moving along the platform are the newcomers that you can see here. Okay, and there's designed cards for each character with a very nice story, why they are intern and so on. And they will have to climb up in this emotional journey that is the onboarding. That will go through several phases, as my colleagues will then explain to you. And they will have to survive and reach a good integration level, so being accepted from the others. So basically surviving sabotage, team lunches, and basically deciding if they want to listen or not to, or be simply affected by the spirits of their former deceased, sometimes, colleagues. So this game, despite their, let's say, the absurdity that some cards will bring into the game, wants to work on the social awareness of players, on their emotional intelligence. And we thought that since sometimes this is a very tough moment for people, we wanted to have a laugh while talking and considering some challenges that we might face when we are approaching this messy environment. And if you're wondering, before you ask it later, why did we decide to introduce ghosts? Well, it's a metaphor for, let's be honest, all those things that they do not work in any company. So unexisting procedures, unclear instructions, you don't know where you are, you don't know what you have to do, missing tasks, gossips, And why not? Some cards will also softly touch also a bit more serious topics, such as maybe negative self-talk. So spirits will whisper to your ears, "You're not good enough, go back home, why are you here?" So we will try to give some maybe moments of reflection to the players without a very heavy and heavy playing game, let's say. So with this, I would leave the word to Frida for the setup and some more clear instructions.
Thank you. So this game, we imagine it's 3 to 6 players, and we have a player board and a number of different types of cards. So when you set up the game, first thing, each player draw a ghost card. And this ghost card, because in the game we are playing the ghosts. We are not the newcomers. We are the history of the workplace that these newcomers are entering into. And the ghosts have different personalities and different reasons for haunting this office. Do you want to read some?
Yeah, sure. So, for example, we have Beatrix. We just made up 3, just if in case we wanted to run a game, but no. Anyways, Beatrix, which is the overachiever that ascended. So she climbed the ladder so fast that she actually ended up leaving her mortal body behind during a very intense performance review. But they still talk about her, of course. And now she's floating around the different levels, the different departments, giving, that is her specialty, unsolicited feedback. You would just hear it from time to time. She's very proud. She's very proud, but she's still kind of mad that she actually never got a parking spot. So that's not nice. And so you have a little story for each ghost, and they have a special attack. We kept it simple, so it's more for the fun, for playing with the emotional challenges around. But they have one attack that we figure they can just play once in the game. The special attack of Beatrix is called constructive feedback. And in this attack, you force 2 other players to just swap one of the cards that they have, but they have to do it while giving each other a very constructive feedback in a very serious voice about their game strategy.
Thank you. So, okay, now each player has drawn their ghost card and shared it, who they are. And then each player secretly draw a newcomer color, or draw a newcomer, which will be their kind of office pet or a secret bet. So it's a secret, so each player kind of hides who they favor in the office. And yeah. And then so the newcomers, they also have different personalities.
So the newcomers, again, they can be the same number of players, which is initially what we thought, to make one bet for ghost, let's say, one pupil per ghost. But we could even spice it up a bit by having just newcomers, more newcomers that are coming and just nobody's betting on them. But for example, you have, Derek, the overachiever. He signed up for 8 projects, but he actually forgot to eat lunch. And they have social knowledge and exploration from 0 to 4. And they start with an assignment 4 bonus. So in this case, Derek has 2 in knowledge and 2 in exploration, but actually 0 social. Something like that.
Okay, so each player can control and move, or influence, I should say. They can influence each of the newcomers. So you can influence everyone. So to start, each player then draw a hand of 6 action cards. So we have action cards here. So each player has a hand of 6 that are secret. And then the game starts, right?
Well, and during the game, we have the starting point, and in order to get to the end, we need to solve 5 main challenges, which are categorized into 4 categories. It starts with very easy tasks, easy challenge. For example, the first category is the entry level. So I will pick up the challenge just as example. So super easy. So the new employees just start working there, so they are a bit lost where I am. So the first challenge is about find the Wi-Fi password. Okay, easy. In order to complete this challenge requires at least level 2 in the first category, okay, which is the first skill, which is social skills, right? So it needs to ask around for the password, so it requires at least 2 levels in the social skills. And then we progress to another challenge, which becomes a bit more complex. So the first one is the entry level, about the find the Wi-Fi, find where is the toilet in the company, for example. The second challenge, for example, is a bit more complex, which is remember everyone's name in a Zoom call. So a newcomer, you for sure don't remember other people's name. So this requires level 2 in the category 2, which is about knowledge, and at least level 1 in the category 1, which is about social. And then the challenge progress, for example, level 3, category 3, which is about the tech problems or troubles, where we need to type a mail on a French keyboard. Which is super hard, so it's getting hard and hard over the time. It requires level 4 at least in the second skills, which is knowledge. So it's the maximum level in this skill. Next one is about management skills. So we are getting to the last challenge. So as you can see, the difficulty is progressing over the time. The fourth challenge is about management skills, which means you need to approve a budget request that makes 0 sense. This requires at least level 3 as a social skills and level 4 in the knowledge. The last one is executive headaches. So it's the last challenge in order to get to the final, where you need to find and resolve a conflict between departments using team building activities. So it requires level 4 in the social skills and exploration, because you need to find where the problem comes from. So the goal is to complete this 5 challenges and get to the end. Some of the challenges, they must be sorted in a cooperative way in order to progress to the next one. Okay, so requires different skills.
Okay, thank you so much to our Integration Impossible team. You can applaud them, I think. I really love the story and the ghosts and their powers. Well done, guys. So what do you think?
And you still haven't seen the ghost, the office cat, which is a ghost, and it's called Marmalade.
Oh, Marmalade,
yeah.
It's so cute.
And when you draw it, all the ghosts, they lose completely control. So we start actually petting the office ghost cat, and it's so nice that actually we get hypnotized and we forget which action cards are ours. So at that point, suddenly we have to just exchange and swap our action cards.
Okay,
which
do you want my money to to
Gladly.
create this game? So what about you?
Thank you. That's all. No, I'm kidding. So I think there are a lot of things going on in your game, and the first thing I would say is that it seems to be a very funny game, and I really like that, the fact that you really went into humor like crazy, I would say. I didn't understand how you can use your cards. I think you have cards in hand that you can play. So you play them on the newcomers.
Let me explain. Like, if you first start the round by drawing a challenge card, which is what was explained, like each of the different levels. When you start at the beginning, there's the entry level challenge card is drawn, and that counts for all the players. So then each player has to look at their cards at the hand and put. So they have 6 cards hand, or we're not sure about the number, but then you place one card on each of the 3 newcomers in this case. So you put it face down so that nobody can see it. So each player kind of votes with their action cards on each of the newcomers.
And then they are shuffled. So
Then I shuffled a little bit,
Yes.
and then you can kind of calculate. So some of them will be minus, and some of them will be plus on the generic category, and some of them can count for the specific category, like knowledge or exploration. So it's like to find the balance between these values. And then shuffled, and you review the action card's consequences, add points, remove points, and then you determine the winner of that round, of that turn. Who gets to move on to the next level, and who perhaps gets some penalties, and who gets experience points, for example, and experience cards, actually. Yeah.
There is only one employee that can progress, or maybe they can all if they match their skills for the challenges, they can advance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Like imagine that you don't have a lot of cards in your hand. So that also makes it a bit difficult to prioritize or to have a strategy, because you might be forced to just boost and power up, also not your bet. Okay, so at the end of the day, you have a little selection of cards and you have to make decisions. But if all the 3 cards, the 3 newcomers, they happen to have enough, like social skills require 2, and they have all of them more than 2, they all pass to the next step. There are 2 steps level 1, 2 steps level 2, 2 steps level 3. And this is the normal progression. 1 challenge 1 step ahead. But there are some action cards that are played, for example, the cat, for example, any other sort of explosive card that you can play at this stage. We don't know who played it. And that has a randomness, that adds some randomness to these progressions. So there are cards that make you skip 2 or go back and so on.
But you draw new cards during the game. Okay.
Yeah, you play 3, you get 3.
Okay, so you have always a choice of 6 cards in your...
Or less. We figure 6, but could be also 5.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, I also like the identity of the effort you put in the identity of your project. Usually, designers to be don't involve too much energy in the tonal dimension, the tone that will be used, and so you choose an angle which is having a good laugh, but also putting some serious thought about it afterwards. So that's a very good thing. And I was somehow with the same impression of chaos, because it seems to me there are lots of things that we can do, and so maybe it can be interesting to have a chaotic game at the first view, but maybe at some point it will be useful to have a simpler structure, and there is phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and player can do this or that each phase, because sometimes I have the feeling that it just during some specific phases it just do things, but it's not strategical. So but I'm pretty sure in your game most of the player will have a good time, and most of them will keep in mind those elements, and we can really rely on experiences, and I like in a way the office vibe of the Michael Scott vibe. It's my model, my mentor. As a director, I tend to do everything he does, and so now I like the spirit of the game. And yes, my advice will be maybe to help the players having some help through a card, so he can know for sure what he can do or not. And so I will also maybe regarding the level design, maybe having something that is actually really more difficult because you're saying it's more difficult, but it's the theme is more difficult, but the mechanic, in my opinion, remained as simple as at the beginning of the game. So
just
maybe
you require more points, so a bit.
Yes. So
if you have good cards,
it could be
at the
interesting
beginning.
to bring new mechanics. I don't know, at round 3 or round 4 or something like that.
Yeah, so far we thought like the first 2 levels, they do not have penalties if you do not pass. But from the level 3 up, you, for example, can be pushed back, or you're blocked for the next turn, or you need to pass only if you're cooperating with another, for example, player. So mechanics more on the cooperation and a bit more strategic. Yeah.
Okay. So my ghost is whispering in my ear that I should leave the microphone to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Olat.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
So see you soon, and let's welcome the last team. So for the game Go Abroad, Jesus, Annette, Laura, and Martina are going to come here on stage.
Yeah.
So do you have a good time?
It's getting warmer and warmer.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. I can share a good tip. You know, if you want to do a good game, it's a 3 steps method. So first, to do a good game, you need an idea, and then an idea, and after that you test it and adjust. The second step is to test it again and then adjust. And the third step is to repeat step 2 as many times as needed. So yes, testing is usually the part when we discover for real if the game has issues. So and once more, all of the team had those very limited amounts of time, so they didn't have the time to properly test the game for a long time. I say for in real time condition. I mean, so once more, that's why we are very nice and gentle when asking questions.
You are. So a very good advice indeed. Thank you. And welcome. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
So you're gonna explain your game Go Abroad?
Yes.
So you have 10 minutes.
First of all, thank you for your hospitality. We loved it here. It was such a wonderful experience. It was actually my first time visiting France, and I'm absolutely in love, in food especially. And we were so inspired by our surrounding that we actually used the map of beautiful Caen in our game. It is about a new students coming to the foreign city, and we identified 2 challenges they faced. So first of all, they are lost because they don't know the city. And the second one is they don't know the language. And we tried to simulate the process of learning, of overcoming those challenges. So we used the real map because in our mechanics, Jesus will talk about them more. We use real map. So during playing, players actually familiarize themselves with a real map. They have to look at it, and eventually, we hope, learn some places. And the second one is a linguistic challenge. We created the system of symbols based on, and we marked important places in a city with those symbols. There is a logic in those symbols, and eventually we, like when you are abroad and you maybe don't know the language, but in time you start to understand some parts of the words. Like if you see something pharmacy or something, you may figure out that it's a pharmacy or some medical place. And we tried to use the symbols in a similar way. So maybe I will show it to the camera. So every place connected to the university contains a triangle. And if place is connected with food, they have those little U's. And I am a designer, so the visual side of things is very important to me. And I tried to use, to some level, elements of the letters from different alphabets. So we could find some elements from a Greek alphabet, from a Polish alphabet, a Spanish. So we try to emulate that to honor our friends here and their multiple languages. And Jesus will explain how the game works.
Okay. So, first, the setup of the game. We have the city map empty. We have some map pieces with numbers on them, and we have a bunch of cards with tasks. We didn't have time to build other cards, but we should have like 3 piles. Okay. We will shuffle the task cards, and we will reveal 5 cards from each one of the 3 decks. When we have the cards revealed, that's like our list of current task we call pick to perform. So in that moment, we start with the turn cycle, where the first we have to do, if in any order, the player should pick which task they will try to perform this turn. In order to do that, every player we get one first clue with a symbol and which that means. And that's all you have. Or the starting task, for example, is this one, is find our apartment. For this task, we have 3 clues that are 3 different drawings and a direction arrow. So you have to try to understand which these symbols are or where they are in the map, and try to follow the direction of the arrow to try to locate the place in the map. So in this example, you have the square with the letter up and the top arrow, and that's church here. You have this other square with a triangle like here or here, so you can understand that those symbolize the parks. And this one with 2 triangles that you don't have in the map. So you have to work with that. You are over this and over this, so you can try to guess that you are maybe around here. When you have that, you can pick the number, the piece of the map with the number in your card. You try to check. You search for it, and you put it in the place you said. And if it matched with where you guessed, you're correct. So you can save this card for you, so you have a point. If you thought it was another place and not the one in the piece, you will have a negative point. Yeah. So once you did this, you can pick up the clue card with the same name that you has. It doesn't matter if you guess right or not, but you will learn something on the way. So you find the card, and I think it is find apartment here. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. In this example, okay. You pick up the task name, and you will have on the back the symbol that represents this name. So you have another clue for finding further tasks. each time a player pick a task, you will be filling the remaining tasks, and I think that's the whole gameplay.
I would just add a couple notes. Sometimes on the map pieces, you have multiple places you can visit. You might not be sure which one is it, but the context clues explaining the words might help you to figure out which one is which one is like a bus station or something. So the more you play, the more you learn not only about the topography of the city, but also about the language system.
And I would like to add that this is cooperative game, so it is played by some international students. And firstly, we have done some of the main categories that they would need when entering a new foreign country. So some of them are entertainment, fun, accommodation, shopping, sports, knowledge, culture, transportation. And for each category, we have done some tests. So in a way, even though some of the players probably will find more of will finish more of the test, they will help each other. But the one that finds more, it will be the one that is adaptive more fast. And also about the learning metrics that we have used in this game. They are firstly guidance, because we think that guidance is about settling in a new environment, in new place. Then we also used responsibility, because each player or each international student in a way take some actions in order to finish some of the tasks and find some of the places. And also maybe simulation, because it is like adapting to a new country, like replicating a real-life situation.
Okay.
We also think that it could be quite easily adapted for other places. We used the map of Caen because we had one, actually. But using this system, it won't be like a 5-minute work, but I think it can be adapted to different places, different campuses in a different context. We thought about setting it in a fantasy environment, but we decided that setting it in a real, current day city would be more beneficial.
Okay, thank you so much for this game Go Abroad. So, Jérôme, Nicolas.
Yes, I'm part geographer as well, so I'm very interesting in the fact that you chose to use a real map, not a simpler, more simpler version of the. Because sometimes it's quite, it's so far from reality that it can be too simple, too much of it's more model than too far from the reality. So I really like that. My question will be about the difficulty about some elements. I'm afraid that maybe I didn't get it right, but it doesn't seem to me very hard to find where goes what, because with some observation skill you can maybe rather easily I think of that. So maybe I didn't get it right, but maybe
not necessarily. Can you show the map of all the places? Players start with only a couple of most important things, like parks, because they are easily identified. You can easily spot a park.
Okay.
We have marked the churches and the castle.
Okay, so that's an empty
yes,
map.
It's empty. The places they are looking for are actually on puzzle pieces.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. It would be too easy if they are already
so
there.
You just
Yeah.
For example, I don't know. Okay. For example, if you manage to get, I don't know. Okay, this is good. You manage to.
Have those already.
Okay. A better one. One I knew. Okay, I like this. For example, if you manage to get this symbol here, you will be able to place it. I think it was here, or maybe not. There? Okay, there.
Okay.
So with this, you will have more clues for getting other
Yes,
tasks.
other part. Okay.
As I said, there was like 3 piles of tasks.
Okay.
The first one is easier to resolve without symbols. The second line is harder because you have more clues related to symbols in other cards. And in the third one is the third pile of cards is the hardest because all the clues are based on other places you had to have discovered before.
Yeah.
So you will have like an increase in difficulty in the tasks. So when you end the easy ones, you will have to start to get imaginative to try to discover which is what and where is it.
Okay.
For different tasks that we have done for each category, they are divided in private, public, and university. So we also try to differentiate this, and then with the symbols, for example, for entertainment and fun, we have private, watch a movie in the cinema, for example, go to watch a performance. This is public theaters, and at the university, for example, join some club, student club, music, and some others.
Okay, thanks. And if at some point, if pharmacy is quite obvious, if at some point you see a drugstore, be careful because it might not be what you think.
What I didn't understand, sorry, what you do in your turn. Do you collect symbols to buy tiles to complete the map?
Okay. And your turn, first it's a common turn. It's like a common phase. The first phase is everybody have to pick a task. They have some people have maybe you have this symbol and you know what it means, but the other not. So maybe you will try to take a task that matches with your symbols, because you will be able to put it in the map better than the other players.
But what symbols? You have symbols yourself?
Yeah, at the start you don't have, but when you start putting the easy task on the map, like the first grocery store or the university canteen or whatever, you will get the task card. The clue card of the task. In this clue card, you have the symbol that represent this place, the place you discovered. So you can use this symbol to understand the clues on future turns.
Tasks.
Speaking to the microphone.
Yeah.
We have a card, perhaps to show the symbols. That's what we.
Yeah. This is the example of the clues where you have 3 symbols. These 3 symbols are the clues. The easy tasks have 2 symbols already in the map, so it's easier to start with them on the first rounds of the game because you can guess it easier. But if I resolve the find apartment, I will be able to place this here. So I have another symbol in the map, but people wouldn't know exactly what that means. Maybe this one is pretty obvious, but not the other ones, like Buya book. When you perform, for example, the Buya book, you will get the Booyah book. This one. You will get Booyah blanket. Whatever. This means you get the task that matches. Okay, this one. You will get the task that this card matching with your task. In this card, you have the symbol that represents the bookstore in this case. So you will know what the symbol means. It's easier for you to find so other places because you will have you will be able to locate easier the symbols. You know what it is, where they are, and that's that. Yeah.
And it connects to the translating of the symbols. Once you know how the bookstore symbol looks like, you might be able to figure out other stores symbols. So when you can easily finish the other tasks connected to the stores because you might have them already uncovered on a map. Maybe you found them, but you don't know what they are. But with context clues from other cards, you'll be able to figure them out.
Okay, thank you.
Easier to spot, for example, the other stores, because if you find the store for food, that's this symbol, you can start to understand that when a card have like this thing on the left side, that means that's a symbol for a store. And if you, for example, found the cinema, you will understand that other cards with this undulating symbol means that's something for fun.
Okay.
And this will help you like understand what the symbols in this language means. Yeah.
And it's a cooperative game. Yeah. At the end, there are some students that solve the problem, and there is one which will understand the system with the symbols, and so it's also to socializing the students at the beginning of their experience abroad.
Okay, thank you so much and congrats. Thank you, Jérôme and Nicolas.
Thank you, Florine.
Do you have any last advice? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
It was a huge work for every team, I think.
Yes, and as I said during the transition, it's obvious that it's almost impossible to create a good game, to finish a game in just 5 hours. So, but the lesson here is not about performing in the final result. It's game development based learning is based especially on the fact that you are learning through the design phase. So the journey is more important than the results. But you don't have to be ashamed of what you all produce, because I think this is, once more, it's a very, very difficult exercise. And if you don't believe us, well, you can come next year in June and endure the difficulty of it. And so, congratulations to all of you. You are very brave, very dedicated, and there were lots of, I think, brilliant, seed of ideas to create very interesting games. And if so, well, it will be very interesting to share that with you.
Yeah, Nicolas, any last word?
Don't speak about the food.
No, I won't. I'm impressed by the fact that all groups thought about the structure of their games, because I insisted a bit on this this week. So they heard my praise. So thank you. I'm proud of you. There was just one game with quiz, so I'm very impressed too. So thank you very much, quiz. And it's a very hard work, especially with 25 degrees in the room. I'm
It's
just
really hot
dying
in here.
because it's too hot here.
We are going to faint.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think we are going to end the show before dying, but thank you so much to all of our teams. It was so nice to have you here. Thank you to you, Jérôme and Nicolas, to Arthur, Lucy, Benoît, Damien, Gabriel in the backstage, and we hope that you have enjoyed your time with us. If it is the case, you can find us back. You can meet us again on Tuesday, every Tuesday at 1 p.m.
It's in French, I guess.
Sorry?
It's in French.
And yes, in French. So if you like to hear us speaking French,
But that's
you
the
can.
ending credits.
Yeah. So next week we are going to talk about immersive games and how you immerse into a game. In French, yes. And you can also subscribe to the stuff week from 15th of June to 19th.
2026.
Exactly. Thank you again and have a good week and a good night. Bye.